January 3rd, 2025.
Hey Crumb, if I participate in the contest I wanna remake 19ZZ using Camellia, Suoh Divine Raiment, is that okay?
That's fine, hell yeah.
Awesome. The odds of it happening are low, unfortunately, but I will try, maybe.
February 10th, 2025.
The odds won.
Hello and welcome back to another level breakdown. This time it's going to be about Suoh Divine Raiment, or Sufeng Tianyi, or
Suoh Tenyi.
which is a remake of 19ZZ by Crumbles Chaos. It's a decently old level. It's a level that I thought was very interesting when it came out, and I wanted to kind of express my enjoyment of it through this remake. So I'm going to be breaking down my thought process, some of the things that I did in this remake, and just some other fun little details, of course. So starting right away with how I came up with the idea for this contest. At the beginning of January, I went and asked Crumb if I could make a remake of 19ZZ using this song, of course, and she said yes, thankfully. And that was the 3rd of January. February 10th, I actually started making the level. So February 10th is when I started this level, and I was 100% finished on the 3rd of March with the entire song. So that was a pretty quick level, at least I think it was. I did it in about a month, which was half the level time given, obviously, and February is a short month. So I consider that an achievement in of itself. The way I plan to approach this level was I plan to do it in segments based on how much time I had left and my ability to complete the level. Originally, the very first version of this level ended right here after the first drop. This fishing part and everything after it did not exist for a while. This was like my minimum completion to complete the first drop. The amount that I really was dead set on, okay, I really want to get this done for the contest, was to finish through the entirety of the second drop, which of course I was able to do. And then for the third drop, I had given up. I wasn't going to do the third drop, but I decided, you know what, there's a contest extension, I'm going to do the third drop. So I went ahead and did it, and I actually managed to finish out the whole level, front to back, start to finish. As you can see, it turns into Chinese or Japanese. I don't know what the intended title is supposed to be. Since Camellia is Japanese, it's probably the Japanese pronunciation. All that aside, I can actually talk about some stuff going on in the level now, and kind of what inspired me with this level. So to start out, this entire first drop, I believe, is just purely 19ZZ inspired. Like, it's just stuff from the actual level just put into a different context with my own style thrown over it, of course. So we've got the 19ZZ logo. I know some people kind of seem to be a bit iffy about me using the 19ZZ logo the entire time and only having the characters show up at the end of the level, but that was kind of my intention anyway. It's a 19ZZ remake. I could have had the characters. I decided not to, just because this symbol means 19ZZ. So I wanted to include this symbol throughout the level where I could. But this part came from 19ZZ. I'll put up a clip of the part that it's from so that you could see how it is. I believe I called these bullets "fuck you" bullets, which I think is kind of fun. I don't do this very often, and I kind of mean to do it more often, but yeah, I called them "evil fuck you" bullets. This ball is actually animated kind of weirdly. It's the danger circle, obviously. It's the danger circle, but it's also parented to this helper, this spinner, and then this other parent So it's going through 3 different parents that are all moving and all moving around. And I have kind of random jumps from time to time, I believe here and here, yes, where it'll rotate and glitch out, which is kind of a glitch. Like, there were glitchy animations in the original level, so I wanted to kind of replicate that. I don't know if anyone noticed that. It is a little bit janky looking, but with this whole style, a little bit janky is kind of what it's meant to be. But anyways, moving on, this build-up, of course, these are taken from the actual build-up from the level as well. There's this weird thing with the rising squares. There's that thing, I have no idea what this even is. And this, like, ball thing. These are all taken from the original level, of course. We've got the logo and the text title card for Suoh Divine Raiment. It was actually entirely coincidental that it worked out this way. I didn't think about the 3 beats here as being a title card. I just thought, okay, there's 3 beats there. What am I going to do with it? And turns out the title is 3 words, so I can fill in those 3 beats, those 3 words. Now for the drop, this is of course based off of the drop from 19ZZ. I didn't have it as weird and unpredictable as 19ZZ. It's still weird. Like, it's unnatural feeling, but it's a little less random than 19ZZ's, which was like turning and stuff. And then it has a just solid, hard transition into the Sound Dodger arena, which is that like weird, unconventional, like unorthodox transition. It's just bam, 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 right into the next part. I did something similar on Intermolecular Lullaby, where everything just stops. It's like a time-stopping moment. Everything just stops, the attacks disappear, and the arena just builds itself piece by piece, and then flash, and we're into the Sound Dodger arena thing. This was kind of like a trend back in the day. I don't know how many of you remember, but making like arenas such as this and just spewing bullets out was it's a trend for a while, which I never really understood. Sound Dodger isn't kind of my game, but this was in the original level as well, so obviously I wanted to try and recreate it. I was actually a bit torn on what to actually sync to with this, but I decided to have like some of the glitchy kicks spawn in the triangle bullets and the big kicks spawn in the sets of 3 bullets. And they move weirdly. Like, if you watch the bullets from beginning to end, they move weirdly. And that was intentional, of course. I didn't want to have them just be still, but I didn't want to make them spread too much to cause like a ton of chaos. I would have them parented to 3 to parents. They're parented to parents. There would be a bullet that spawns first, and then these 2 bullets would have rotation parents that would rotate them 15 degrees or negative 15 degrees in this case. But they would also move. So they spawned at 6 and then went to 0 with an out sign. So they would move in, but at the same time their angle would change so that they're angled outward. There are some parts of this level that I'm not super proud of. This part where it's like shrinking and has a ton of like glitch effects and stuff, I think this part is lame as hell, and honestly I'm not too proud of it. Like, it looks intimidating. That's all I can say for it. It looks intimidating. It's spinning real fast. It's got the hue going, but it's just not that interesting, I guess. Moving on, we have this like ice hockey, ping pong, whatever you want to call it thing, where the balls bounce back and forth with the visualizers on the walls. This part's pretty like boring. There isn't much to say. The balls kind of have like bouncing and stuff. These helpers were a pain to line up though. Like, it was really annoying to line them up. The balls are pretty simple to animate. It's just have a Y parent, it's going down at a constant rate, have an X parent so that it bounces from side to side or does a little like double bounce from time to time. It looks weird, but it's intentionally weird. Some of these helpers are a bit generous, admittedly, but I wanted to make sure that people weren't just sitting against the wall to get like eaten up by that big massive bullets that comes in on this this glitch here. I wanted to use the glitchiness of the song to my advantage whenever I could, because the glitches, they're in the song, they're like something to sync to, and I think having stuff synced to as much as you can rather than just the kicks, which it's techno, all there really is kicks, but I want to take advantage of whatever I can that's outside of those kicks. I did see people complain about these helpers. I kind of didn't know what else to put here. This level was a little bit rushed, and I kind of just decided, you know what? I'll make the helpers go with the trail of the balls. Otherwise, it's basically just... A way I could have done it better would be to have just one big helper object cover the whole screen, and then have background colored objects in the places that are safe zones. That probably would have been an easier way to do it. But I just decided, you know what, I'll make the helpers for the trails and call it a day. This is also where I remembered that Bloom exists. I didn't use Bloom, like, at all much, if I'm remembering correctly. I didn't use Bloom, like, at all in the level up until this part. This is where I remembered that Bloom was. So, yeah, that's kind of also just kind of a funny thing. It happens all the time in my levels. I'll have a certain style of effects for one part, I'll forget about it, or I'll add something onto it later, and then that's just the effect style for the rest of the level. I'm not a very consistent creator. Moving on, we have the pictured as perfect reference. I didn't label it a reference because I think putting text that says level reference is a bit stupid and kind of takes you out of the level a bit. Like, it pulls you out of the experience and you're like, oh, hey, I remember that level. I want you to just be thinking about this level. If you catch the reference, good for you. If you don't, you just see it as this, like, glitchy mess. That's also good. That's kind of what I intended it as well. I don't want you thinking about Pictured as Perfect. I want you thinking about Suoh Divine Raiment. Honestly, it's a little lazy because it's very simple. I think Pictured as Perfect is a great level. It fits the song very well. This kind of fits with all the glitchiness because it's so weird, but it's also just kind of, it's not really trying to sync to anything. It's just moving around. Here it says error, restarting, and success. That's just fun little text that happened in the original level as well. I don't like how much I relied on this, like, circle and stuff to just fill time out for this build up to the this build up from the breakdown into the interlude. I'm not proud of that transition. This fishing part, it's meant to replicate those fishing web games from, like, the 2010s or whenever. I don't even know if any of those still exist, but it would just be a game. You have your fishing rod, you try to time it so that you could catch the fish. I have the fish here. They're randomized in size, speed, and direction. And then I have the fishing guy up here. You could interpret that as a nose if you want. It's meant to be a hat. But if you want to interpret it as a nose, sure, he's got a big schnoz. This background was inspired. It's not a special background. It's just a 1010 over and over again. But it's because I went and watched Nisei Mano by Guono. That's where I got the idea for this background from. I kind of wanted to try and reference a few other Frems levels, because it's kind of a Frumsy Camellia song. Honestly, it's a weird song. Frums is a weird musician. And Frums even commented on the video for Suoh Divine Raiment. So it was a neat little bit of context to put into the level to kind of, maybe nobody else will catch it, but I know it's there, and that makes it a little bit more meaningful to me. Moving on to this build-up, this build-up sucks. I'm not proud of this at all. So I'm going to move on to the second drop, which is a hardstyle drop, or hardstyle gabber, whatever you want to call it. It's got harder kicks. It's got the conk, 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 conk. It kind of didn't turn out as well as I thought it was going to in my head. In my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have this background. It's just sucking in. It's like a black hole, and then there's gonna be these big boxes that are gonna be going like conk, 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 and attacking you, and it's gonna be super intense and scary and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I did that, but it also doesn't really look that good. I tried it. I left it in. I decided, you know what? I'll leave it in. But I think it's just okay. This part was just, I'm out of ideas. I need something to fill in this transition. So I'd had wall going from right to left that closes in with building effects and stuff. And then boom, it's the logo again. And then boom, a bunch of text that says some stuff that probably nobody's going to be able to read. So it says error, kicks too loud, switching genres, loading, error loading techno, which was the first genre. Switching genres again, loading, drum and bass loaded, which is this genre. Then I was actually surprised how many people were kind of mixed on this part. I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be so cool. It's a creative like way to make the helper arena with the fake out and stuff. It's going to zoom out and then it's going to go in on the Space Invader rainbow thing, and then boom, you're in Space Invaders, kind of. People didn't really seem to get that you were supposed to stay in the part with the background, which I could have made more clear. I should have made more clear, but I don't know. I guess it made sense to me because I made the level, but it didn't make sense to everybody else. And that's an oversight on my part, admittedly. I don't have a lot to really say about this part. It's just kind of Space Invaders. Like you've got the ship, you've got the aliens, you've got your area, you've got even a little shield, which the ship does actually shoot and gets blocked by there. You've got like attacks and stuff. I think it's okay. I tried to do like a visual only, no helpers kind of section with this. I didn't want to have like helpers just filling out the space with every single laser or thing. So I made sure to have like some kind of visual indication where they came from. And then also a rhythmic indication, such as the ships firing from bottom to top every single like time that the chugging bass happens. Like I want to have it start from bottom to top every time. So you have to watch what's happening with the ship down here because it's charging up its big like laser ball, which is gonna pew directly up from it. And you also have to watch out for the balls coming in from the sides, which I think are just synced up to the snare. And then you have to also watch where these ships are because they're going to be firing lasers down at you in sync with the bases. There's a lot going on, but it's also not very special, if that makes sense. Like, nothing in here is, like, very wowing. This part is meant to be rhythm tweezers. Sorta works, sorta doesn't. I think it's kind of ugly, but I didn't really know what else to do, and I just wanted something different. So there's the guy up there. He's looking at you. He reacts when you like pull out his whiskers or whatever. Kind of lazy, not that great. Kicking again. This part's interesting. This part came to me in a dream. Apparently, I was thinking about this level and how to make it and what to do for it so much that my dream decided, you know what? We're going to have these balls that are going to expand into beams. Lunar whale style, lunar whale type shit. So we're going to have that happen. So, you know, boom, boom. They expand and stuff in sync with the beat. I saw some people actually quite liked how that was animated. So I guess Dream Me just has better ideas than Real Me. This build-up, it's based on Snake. It also kind of sucks, and it's really easy to get hit by as well, which is an oversight on my part. That build-up kind of sucks. And then into the final drop, I bring in the saw blades, which I had ignored up until this point because I didn't know what to do with them. So I bring in the saw blades, and then just as many other elements from the original level as I can. There's like some weird worm thing that appears, a bunch of saws and stuff, triangles, big spinny cubes, the faces, the like weird hexagon thing. All this stuff is like meant to come from the original level. It's just kind of a dump of everything that I hadn't used up until this point. and I just throw it all in here for the melodic drop. This part, it's got the triangle build-up stuff. And then this part, I'm actually quite proud of, because something that Camellia pretty oftenly does, or something that Camellia does while writing very often, is he will take a chunk of the song and he will put it in the like third drop or the melodic drop or whatever as a callback to what happened before. And in this case, he took the second drop, the hardstyle, gabber, whatever, the hard kick part, and he called back to it, and the drum and bass part. So I wanted to imitate in my own way and just call back to a bunch of stuff from the level. So here we have the first drop, everything that happens there. Then we have this part, which is just kind of shoehorned in because I didn't know what else to sync to it. We have the black holes with the kicking. We have the Space Invaders. And then obviously, and then it just kind of ends on like another Picture This Perfect thing. I think it works. I think it finishes out the level. I managed to get like all of my like big ideas that I had for this level initially into there, which I'm thankful for. And then of course it ends here with the symbols on the balls instead of 19ZZ, and it turns to like this purple color that's more of Suoh Divine Raiment's color. And then of course we have some end text to just cover up this fade out. So that is pretty much all I have to say about it, I think. I was able to talk quite a bit about this level. I think it was a very interesting process making this level. There was a lot that went into it. And I don't think it's a perfect level. I mean, obviously it didn't win the contest. It's not the best level in the contest. I don't even think it's the best level of the contest. But I'm proud of what I was able to achieve with this level and how I was able to at least get pretty much all of my ideas into there. And Crumb really liked the level as well. I know some other people like AirTech also really enjoyed this level. So I'm glad that there are people who found this level to be like one of the best, if not the best, of the contests. People who love this level. I'm happy that I was able to achieve that. So I think that's about all I have to say. So I want to thank you for watching and listening to me ramble for the past however many minutes this video is. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe. Tell me something that you want to see. I want to make more PA content. I want to be able to contribute more to this community. So tell me something you want to see. You would be surprised how like out of touch I am with this community. Let me know anything that you would like to see me do in the future. Any levels you would like me to break down as well. And I will see you all when I see you.